Hi everybody, I'm Kelly Mataure. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the first video of 2025. Yay! Yay! So today is special for two reasons. Number one, it's the first video of 2025. Like we made it, Tapinda, Happy New Year. And secondly, today is my birthday. Birthday, yum. Today is the 12th of January. And on this day, today, I turn 33 and I am so excited. Honestly, the best gift I could have given myself today was actually posting a YouTube video because I've been thinking about it for a while and procrastinating and all that. But I figured I might as well just get it done. Today's a better day and I'm just happy to have a video out and to be back on YouTube with you guys. So today I want to talk about the 5 things that I've learned as I've turned 33. I've spent the last couple of weeks really reflecting and really doing a lot of introspection. And I thought I'd share some of these nuggets that I've picked up along the way. Obviously, 33 is very young to some of you or very old to some of you. But I thought I want to share some of the things that I'm learning and picking up and still trying to practice as I step into 33. So the first thing is what's not scheduled does not get done. I have learned this the very hard way. If it is not in my schedule, it is not happening. So it sounds so ridiculous because, we're used to doing that at work, you schedule meetings and whatever at work. But I realized that I've had to now do it in my personal life as well. So I started doing it last year, where even if it's coffee with a friend, I actually put it into my schedule. Like I plan my dates ahead of time because I realized that if I actually don't create room to do certain things, it's just not going to happen. I think I've talked about in previous videos that I've struggled with the busyness of living in Harare. I'm used to being in Chimanimani where everything's quiet, there's never anything going on. And then I moved into Harare where there's like 1 million commitments just between church and family and friends and work. There's always just so much going on. So I figured, let me try to be more organized with my personal life as much as my work life. So now I schedule everything. And I'll encourage you guys to do the same, honestly, because if you're like me, forgetfulness is a thing. Like I'm really forgetful. So I really have to be intentional about making time and creating the room to do some of the things that I love. So try it, see how it works. So if you're also someone who does that, let me know in the comments. Please don't make me feel like I'm crazy. But I think it's just really made a huge difference in helping me get around to doing some of the stuff that I've been wanting to do but haven't actually made time for. Number 2, the power of walking away. Oh, this one was a tough one. Listen, I'm still learning every day, but I've come to realize that being a grown-up means that you actually have the power and the control to walk away from things you don't want to be part of anymore. I've learned that there's some things that we kind of feel like we have to do and you have to be part of and you have to. And I realize there's some things that really you actually don't. So I've learned this in very many aspects. I'll give you a small example. I have learned the power of walking away from arguments and debates that get me frustrated, that get me worked up, that make me angry, that just draw a lot of energy. So I've actually learned that there's some people who actually just enjoy arguing for the sake of arguing. Like literally, it doesn't matter. If you say something is blue, they must say it's red. So I always used to be that person who I felt I have to convince you to see it the way I believe is the truth or the way it is. And it used to actually take up a lot of energy. And this is in big and small things. Honestly, it can be a stupid debate at a games night and I'll just get so involved in her until I realize like that's actually really draining. And it's not up to me to change your mind. Once I learned that, I felt so free. So one of the big things that I no longer debate about, no longer spend energy on is debating about religion and faith. That it's not my job to convince you. Like it's fine. If you want to believe in crystals, if you want to believe in whatever you want to believe in, that's perfectly okay. You're allowed to believe in whatever you want. The same way I'm allowed to believe whatever I want. So I think it's hard because as a child of God, you feel the need to, because we're always talking about spreading the gospel, you always feel the need to be like, okay guys, but we must bring people to Jesus. We must bring people to God. We must. And that looks different. Like for some people, that's like Bible bashing or like judging or condemning people and all sorts of things. But I think I've just come to learn that, you know what? It's actually okay. It's not my job to convict you. It's the job of the Holy Spirit. So when the Holy Spirit wants to deal with you, he will do it in his own time. I don't have to sit here and debate about why I believe that God is real and why I believe in him and da 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 da. That's actually fine. If you don't believe in anything, that is perfectly okay. It is not my job to change your mind. It's okay for me to walk away from that, and the Holy Spirit will convict you when he wants to. My job is to live my life in a way that shows people the goodness of being a child of God. That is my job. It is not my job to debate you and go verse for verse and da 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 da. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not working on, look, whatever it is you want to believe in, that's perfectly fine. If you want to know more about Jesus, talk to me anytime. But until then, I'm walking away. If it's relationships that don't serve me or that I find draining or that have hurt me, this 2025, I'm not doing none of that nonsense. I'm no longer sacrificing myself for some of these things that no longer serve me. And I know that sounds really, really selfish, but I can't. I'm tired. A girl is tired. If it's not working, guys, let it go. If it's a business that's not working, let it go. Ask me how I know. But if it's, guys, it's okay. Like, let it go. If it's a sport that you don't enjoy, you can leave it alone. If it's a decision that you've made that you don't like, let it go. If it's a job that you're not enjoying, you can quit. Like, we literally have free will. Have you guys been seeing like those free will, like TikToks, where it's like you actually can do whatever you want, and it's okay. And part of that means walking away. The power of walking away also means that when I intend to stay, I must stay with my whole heart. If I intend to do something, I must do it intentionally with my whole heart. So it works both ways. So no more like chilling with my kids while I'm scrolling on TikTok. I'm working on this. This is not something I've perfected. It's a huge issue. I'm working on it. If it means I'm spending time with my kids, I'm spending time with them full time. If I'm spending time with a friend, I'm spending time with them full time, family, whatever it is I'm doing. If I'm working, I'm laser focused on the things that I'm choosing to have in my life, and walking away and releasing the things that I don't want to have, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope you guys get what I mean. Number 3, I have learned about stepping into the audacity of being a child of God. And I love it. You know, I had a realization this is actually in 2023, that, you know what, as a child of God, I feel I should have a lot of unfair advantages simply because I'm the daughter of the king. I cannot be struggling and having things at the same standard of someone who's not a believer. So I stepped into a season of believing God for big, audacious things simply because I am his child. Not because I deserve it, not because I'm better than anyone else, not because I'm cleverer, but simply because I've asked my Father and I believe he wants good things for me and he will say yes. So what this means for me is I walk around constantly believing that I carry a cloak of unmerited favor. Specifically, favor is something I've always prayed for. Favor with God and man, favor with everybody, everything that I do. So it's also given me the courage to put myself into situations where ordinarily I shouldn't be there. So I am delulu about my faith now. Like it actually really helped to set my faith on fire. I am delusional about the things that I believe in. So literally, I believe that if there's a 99% chance of it not working, that 1% chance, that's gonna be me. If there's going to be a 1 out of 100,000 people who manage to win something, that is gonna be me. So that's not only with big and small things. It's not like some woo-woo crystal thing. It's actually biblical. God has this favor resting upon you. And it's not because you deserve it. It's not because of anything, but because it's a free gift that he gives to his children. Even 1,000 fall at my side and 10,000 on my right side, it will not come near me. That is what I believe so wholeheartedly. And it has done things to bolster my faith in ways that you cannot believe. 2023, I had the craziest run of crazy moments of favor. Happened to me as well in 2024. Where I sat down and I said, I don't care what the odds are. I don't care what this is. Because I said I want this, because of the unmerited favor that I walk with, because I'm a child of God, this thing is mine. And as long as God has said yes, no man can say no. That's something that has really changed my life, to be honest. I know it sounds so dramatic, but it really has a way of strengthening your relationship with God, and it stops you from being prideful when you succeed in some of these things, because I find I'm striving for things that I have no business striving for, things that I have no business even wanting. So when those things happen to me, I know without a doubt that this is God's hand on this situation. So I hope that encourages somebody out there, hey, that look, it doesn't matter what the situation is, put it before God. He says, make your requests known to me with prayer and thanksgiving. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And I've been genuinely really trying to practice it. And I've seen God move things in ways even I cannot explain. And I mean, it's important for us to recognize when it's God because He must have all the glory and all the honor in these situations. So give it a try, guys. 2025. My favorite way of doing it, actually, sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but what I love doing is I make a list. So I'm someone who likes to like write stuff and journal and everything. So in my journal, there was a particular thing that I was praying to God for to say, okay, God, I want this particular thing. And then He said to me, okay, write down everything, write down a list of everything that you want for this particular thing. And I did that. And sure enough, I think it was a couple of months later, everything came to pass exactly as I'd written it. And I was asking for things that are impossible, hey? And yet they still happened. So that to me is a clear indication that this can only be God because this isn't something I could have orchestrated even on my best day. So I want to just encourage you guys, have some faith, write down lists, keep track of things. And writing down things is also important because sometimes we ask God for stuff and then we forget that we asked for it. And then when it happens, we forget that it's actually an answered prayer. So, and He's in the details, hey, so don't be shy. Do it. Writing it down doesn't mean it's guaranteed. This is not magic. This is not some manifestation. No, 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 no. It's just putting your requests known to God. He can accept them and grant them or reject them, which is fine. But what you are allowed to do is ask. He says, come boldly to the throne of grace. So I come boldly with my requests to God and I leave it to Him to decide whether it should happen or not. So give it a try this year. The fourth thing is build a strong moral compass. Guys, the world we are living in, the Zimbabwe we are living in, is wild. It is wild. It's one of those things where if you don't know where you stand, literally that like it's been said to death, but you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. It is so true. Guys, whatever it is you believe in it and be steadfast and be convinced. You cannot be wishy-washy about anything. And I'm not just talking about religion and faith. I'm just saying even your morals and your standards. The standard to which you hold yourself to, whatever the case, wherever you stand with whatever you believe in, stand firm. Because we're living in very, very murky times where lines are blurred and things are just not clear. I think especially if you're someone who has children or wants to have children in the future, be very clear about what it is that you want and what you stand for. Please do not bring children into a world of confusion. If you don't even know what you want or what you believe in, what are you teaching these kids? And it could be anything. It could be anything. If it's teaching your kids how to be disciplined and how to be polite, you have to be firm on that and make sure that it resonates in the way that you're living your life. Let it be an example to them. Like, you can't be half about things. Don't confuse people. Don't live in a world of confusion. Be clear about what you want. There's attacks on all sides, whether it's economical, political, whatever the case. Be firm on whatever it is that you believe in. I'm not going to impose my views on you, but just be clear about what it is you want and do it with your chest. Stick to what it is and stand firm. And the last one is be honest about who you are. Hey, this one, it sounds so simple, guys. It sounds so simple, but honestly, this has been the most challenging thing for me because I've had to try to isolate the puzzle pieces that make the picture of Kelly and be clear on what that is. So there's certain things that I wanted to think about myself or wanted to believe about myself that weren't necessarily true. And as a result, has caused a lot of confusion with certain things. I'll give you a very small example. I always assumed I was an extrovert. I'm an extrovert, and I'll do all these fun extroverted things. And I realized at the end of the day, it started chipping away at my soul. I'm just not that person. And it took me years to figure it out, hey? Not even like, it took me years. It's only when I actually sat down to really introspect, I realized, no, but I'm actually not an extrovert. I'm not an introvert either, but I need a perfect balance of both. And once I got into step with who I really am, it's made my life a lot easier and has also given me the permission to create the world and the boundaries that I thrive in. So even if it's social events, I've now learned, don't schedule things back to back to back to back to back, because I get really, really bitter. I can be tearful about it. I mean, yesterday I had a tantrum because I was tired. To be honest, it's so childish. But I had a bit of a tantrum because I was really tired. I had a really intense December, socially, and we had a lot of family functions going on. We had a lot of things that we did in December, and it was beautiful. It was lovely. I was surrounded by my siblings. It was a lot. And then I started work on Monday, and then on Saturday I had things that I needed to do, and I just like had a full system shut down. Like I had a meltdown because I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I haven't had time to just be at home. I haven't had time to just literally since I don't know, probably maybe November, October. Like I hadn't spent a full day at home doing nothing in months. And like that just, it like crumbled me down to pieces. I was physically tired, emotionally tired, socially drained, everything. But eventually we're grown ups. Of course, we have to pick ourselves up. Chunks felt bad for me, and he's such a sweet. I like that guy. He's just like, no, babe, it's gonna be okay. It's fine. So I mean, today is Sunday, so I decided not to go to church today for that reason, because I just need to have like a full day to just rest, recover, not have to set an alarm, not need to go anywhere, which is actually why I even have the energy to make this video, because I had to say, okay, I'm just going to skip this Sunday and then I'll go next Sunday, because I need a day to rest and recover. And when I rest and recover, my creative juices start flowing. I feel more like myself. Yeah, so I mean, it worked out really well, but it's a tough lesson. It's a tough lesson. I also did a lot of introspection in December because of a lot of things that have happened, like the last couple of months, in terms of my relationships, not relationship with Jones, but relationships with people around me and things like that. So I really had to take time to sit and think about things that I didn't want to think about, like looking at character faults, character flaws, character failures that I've had, bad decisions I've made, things I could have done better. It's never ever a nice thing to do, but it's something that we need to make a habit of doing regularly, because if you're not doing that, it means you're not growing, you're not learning. You're caught in cycles of making the same mistakes over and over again. So it was a really awful time. It made me very sad for a couple of days, because you just feel like, oh, I'm a failure, I'm da 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 da. When you're looking at the negative things about your character and who you are. But that's where the growth happens. That's where the Holy Spirit takes you and molds you into be better. So I'd recommend doing it regularly. Again, it's not a nice thing, but I'm working on it. It's something I've been trying to do a little bit over the last couple of years, which I intend to do more of in 2025, which should hopefully result in a better me overall. That's all I have for you today. I mean, these 5 lessons really resonated with me so deeply. I hope they did with you too. I hope you picked up on 1 or 2 things that you can find useful to be able to use in your life. Thank you so much for watching this video. Going forward on what this channel is going to look like, I don't know. I'm just going to try and record a video and post it when I can. So if you have suggestions of anything in particular that you want to see, let me know down below. But I mean, let's see how this goes. I always start the year so energetic, and then I promise things and I end up not delivering. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not promising things. That's part of my walking away. You see, I'm not promising when I'm going to put up another video again. I've just realized this is going to happen. When it happens, we're going to let it flow. But overall, I'm so happy to have you guys here. If you're watching this video again, and if you're part of my subscribers, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, if you're being a monitoring spirit on my channel, can you please subscribe down below? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that will be. Bye.